Hey guys, Jamie here from the Game Pillar and welcome to another video. As promised from the PlayStation 4 unboxing, I'm actually going to be doing a comparison of the PS3's Dualshock 3 and the PlayStation 4's brand new Dualshock 4. Now, I'm going to be just giving you guys my personal opinion on both controllers, and I'm going to be giving you a list of pros, a list of cons, and yeah, so most of this stuff in this video is my opinion, and I'm sorry if you guys are offended by it. I don't know why you would be, it's a controller, but there you go. So yeah, first thing that you're like, where the hell are you filming this, Jamie? I'm actually filming this in my dining room, and I'm home alone, so I probably will be doing most more unboxing videos in here in the future, rather than my bedroom. It was a bit of a rush doing that last time, but apologies for that. Anyway, so looking at both controllers, I personally think that the PlayStation 4 controller is better for performance, look, and just holding it, literally just gaming pretty much under the performance strategy. So we're going to be going in detail of both controllers. As you can see here, PS4 on the right, PS3 on the left. So I'm going to be going first in detail of the DualShock 3. Now looking at this, then looking at this, you're thinking that this one looks more like a little toy or something like that you get from, like, say, you know those RC cars? It'd be something like that, like just the way it looks. And it's pretty small as well. My hands are quite big, but the thumbsticks are kind of in a good shape and position and a good area for most people. Obviously, people have different hand size, people vary, which is another reason why I've done most of my gaming on the Xbox 360 rather than the PS3. But I did have the occasional game on the PS3. I did have the occasional Call of Duty match. But overall, I did prefer the Xbox 360. I preferred that console. I preferred that controller. But now, obviously, I've went back to my originality. I went to the PS4. And yeah. So in a games console, one of the key factors is the controller. Because if you don't have a controller that's going to be suiting your needs, there's no point getting that games console. So if you think the controller is going to hurt your hands, or just you don't like it, there's really destroying a part of why you should get that console. So this was really a big part why I barely played the PS3, down to the controller. Anyway, let's just go a little run through of the controller. So obviously this is the front of the controller. You can tell by it's made by Sony. It's got some huge Sony logo. And then underneath it's got the select then start button. Underneath that you've got the PlayStation button, which can use to turn on the console and the controller, turn it off, goes to the home menu and things like that. Then underneath that there are two relatively close, about a centimetre from each other there, thumbsticks, which are horrible. Literally, they're just loose. Literally loose and not really molded for your thumbs at all. Just if you have a look at the texture on there, I know you can't see that, but it's barely rugged, barely urban. It's sort of just a bit bobbled, not that much, just that minimal grip. I mean, it's kind of a problem when you're in a game you just do that. But still, this is what we had to put up with. This is why I had to buy Control Freaks and Squid Grips as well. So, you know, you have to click that surrounding, stuff like that. The D-pad is alright. But when would you use a D-pad? I'd never use a D-pad. Even for keyboard, I just use that. So, the D-pad is probably one of the good features about this controller. So, the actual texture of the controller itself is basically a matte finish. There are some glossy parts, such as a bit by the D-pad there, and a bit by the triangle, circle, X, and square buttons. But it's not really a problem. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but that is the smallest part of the controller that you barely see. Other than that, the rest is a matte finish black with no texture whatsoever. Literally, it is very slippery if you're sweaty. Banging out a game of Call of Duty, obviously. At the back of the controller, as you can tell, you've got, it is the Sony Wireless controller, 6-axis. it would say DualShock 3 here, but this is the one that I got supplied the actual console. And you've got your L1s and your R1s, and your L1s and your R2s. Obviously, your R2 and your L2, obviously, but I'm going to do it this side. But yeah, these triggers are like cushions, literally. They're not really triggers. You pressure to play Call of Duty on this, to shoot. It's just, as well, look, you got to push it in to get the feedback, which is something that you don't want to be doing. When you want to get a quick kill, you're going to be like, oh, you have to really put some pressure in. I know I might be over-exaggerating a bit here, but it really is the case. And, I mean, we had to live with this. Another reason, which is why I prefer the Xbox 360, because the triggers were so much more better. They were actually going towards the trigger sort of market, literally. These aren't triggers, they're cushions, and I think they're absolutely silly coming towards the PS4 controller now. Your R1s and your L1s, standard, not really like, they're just like pushing buttons, literally. Very cheap and tacky indeed. And yeah, obviously there's your USB to plug it in, and then instead of the light bar on the PS4 controller, you actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'd light up red, obviously. Run out, dead. So I haven't really got much to say about this controller. Very basic, very simple. Obviously, that is what all the consoles had. There was no share feature, no options feature. They would just start, select, home, and all your buttons just to play the game. We had to live with this. I mean, it wasn't a bad controller, but when you go to the PS4, you can tell there is definitely a big step up in games. Sony has really big stepped up their game with their next generation console. So let's move that aside and let's come on to this beast of a controller, the Sony's brand new DualShock 4 for the PlayStation 4. Now, already you can tell most of my complaints have gone. Literally gone. Thumbsticks, they're about at least 1.52 centimeters apart, making it easier. They're actually molded. They've got some sort of texture now. They've actually got a ring around, so your thumb does not go like that and accidental. It's really more accurate. They're actually slightly smaller than the PS4 thumbsticks. I don't know how you can tell that the difference. It doesn't really mind me. It's not a really too big of a thing. And obviously, I mean, I'd rather have smaller and more accurate thumbsticks than the sort of bigger, bulkier, sort of slippery sort of things that don't really work at all. But yeah, these things aren't as loose as the previous DualShock 3, sorry. These things are much more needed a bit of pressure, and I like that. Obviously, sensitivity, you turn up in games if you're used to the Sony's PS3 controller, but I personally prefer the way it's not too loose, it's just right for me. Obviously, if this is a problem for you, you've got game sensitivity, because I know many people who have come from the PS3 who are used to just doing all that. Now you're just like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, so in the middle here, you've got the brand new PS button. It is literally the same logo, nothing has changed there. But it is actually white. It's not like some piece of glass, sort of plasticated, translucent plastic. It's just the black button with the PS3 logo on. Oh shit, just turned on my PS4. It's flashing now. Oh, well done, Jamie. Oh, anyway. And then now you don't have this on a PS3 controller. It's got an integrated speaker, which is actually pretty good. I was playing Warframe earlier and I actually shat myself because I forgot that feature was there. A woman was speaking to me through the controller. And I thought that was amazing. PS4's on now. Okay, I am back. But yeah, so that is a PlayStation button, and that really turned on the actual console. So yeah. Up above this, you're going to be thinking, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? You used to have some big hench Sony flipping logo there. No, this thing is a touchpad and a button. Now, people are going to be thinking, that's a fucking gimmick. You don't need that shit. Go get an Xbox One controller. This thing is actually pretty useful, and as much as it is a gimmick, as much as so many people do say, yes, Jamie, it's a bloody gimmick, it's actually very useful, and I actually like the feature of this very much. And it actually has some sort of texture, some sort of spotty, urbanized, sort of rugged texture. I don't know if you can see that over the camera, obviously, a bit bad quality there, but yeah, and this is actually a physical button as well. There's some games like Warframe as well I was playing earlier, you can actually evolve the game using this. So if you want to do a power up, you do that, like, and it actually recognises it. It's a really good touchpad, and as well as Warfinder, you can actually use this to move around. Obviously I prefer using the thumbsticks, and there's games where you can just look at the map, push it, you got a map up, double tap it, objectives, stuff like that. It's really nice little feature they've added. And yeah, so you're going to be thinking, what the fuck, where the hell's the Start, Select, and the Sony logo gone then? Well, on the right of that big nice touchpad, you've actually got the Options button, which I think has replaced the Start button. You know, you push that, all your little pause menu comes up, and, you know, yeah, pretty much what a Start button would do. So then, who the fuck would you select? Because Select was, like, literally something that no one would use. It was never used. So that was being replaced by the brand new feature that I am 100% in love with, the Sony share feature. I don't know why I said Sony, but still, the share feature. Now this thing allows you to record up to 15 minutes of gameplay, upload screenshots, and live stream to twitch.tv and Ustream directly from the console by just clicking the button. It comes up, tells you what you want to do, and you literally, these processes are so simple, so nice and easy from there. Now these buttons are literally, oh god, just kill. Whoa, look at my score streak. I don't know, whatever. Quick, I've got to record that. You know, boom. And you don't even need to record it. It's already recording the past 15 minutes, which is amazing. That button there, instead of that button there, is a big thumbs up. But yeah, the D-pad is, you know, bigger than the PS3's. It's much more better to use, but it's not really, if the D-pad's really shit on the controller, I don't go around crying about it. I mean, to be honest with you, when do you ever use a D-pad? I don't even use it for typing, like I said. These buttons here are pretty much the same. Just, I think they're slightly less raised, but like I said, it doesn't really affect me as much as the thing on the back, the triggers. And again, you're thinking, yeah, light bar and all that. I'll explain that in a minute. You can even hear, right, PS4, PS3, yeah. These sound like, it's like going from a normal keyboard to like a mechanical keyboard. These things are triggers. These things are great performers. These things literally can get you that extra kill in COD. This thing can literally, so much more, less feedback, so much more easier, and they actually got some sort of texture and some sort of grip, and they're actually pieces of like plastic, or I think these are some sort of foamy, they felt sort of, they're not really a foam, but like a very soft, hard, I don't know, it's just some sort of not very solid texture, but it, you know, it theoretically it is, but yeah, I mean, love the triggers, so much more of just more precision, you know, and you can't get it's molded for your fingers as well. If you have a look, it's got some sort of ridge and mold in the middle, so you can't get lost. I don't know why you would, but it is a nice feature. Obviously R1 and L1 as well, sort of same sort of way, same sort of design. These things literally, you know what that is, just go up there. Much more clickable, less cushion, less pressure, much more just like that, sort of a click, mouse click sort of thing. So yeah, and again we're thinking, yeah, it's got the light bar and you've got the USB thing. So Sony, there you go, that logo is about a centimetre long and about 5mm high, I'd say the Sony logo on that is. That's about 3 centimeters long, about half centimeter, 0.7 centimeters high. Do you reckon? You can tell it's Sony, but you know it's Sony if you bought a PS4. And you know they've added it saying Sony on there. You know, obviously you didn't have. Where else would you put a big massive Sony logo? You wouldn't put it on the touchpad, would you? But that's some sort of thing that Microsoft would do. You know what I mean? They'd have like a big Xbox logo. But meh. So yeah, this light bar at the back is great. Now, I've heard in Killzone this can act as a health bar, and this is also just replacing these little 1, 2, 3, 4 LEDs that just flashed red on the PS3, which is it's more of a gimmick, but still. So if I turn on the PS4 now, it flashes when it goes on. Sort of a light blue. There you go, and there it goes to the sort of dark blue. There you go, I think I've logged. There you go, I've logged them. You can probably hear the music, but yeah. So it's a really nice feature, and it really does. It's barely visible, but it's really nice. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of it. And you know, it's really useful. Say if you want your health in Killzone or whatever the games support this, flip it over, you've got yourself your health bar. Now, that's replaced the LEDs like I previously said, and yeah. So, at 10 when I rate this controller, probably about a 6 or 7 out of 10. It works. It doesn't work too well when you're just going out of his bigger brother here. But yeah, this would be more of a 9 and a 10 out of 10. Obviously I can't give it a full 10 out of 10, but just this is what I'm going to be enjoying. I wouldn't need no squid grips on this, because if you have a look, I didn't mention this earlier, but the sort of texture really flows, and you know, you can tell like that's where the PS3 controller sort of ended, and it sort of carried on with some more urban, grippier feel. And at the back, the just texture of it, and it just looks so more elegant. I know you can't really see that well on camera, but the texture really makes it more grip, more sort of. Because I don't know what the word is. I'm really stuck with my words today, but yeah. And also, this thing doesn't feel like a toy. Can't really bend it. I know I'm just in 6 seconds. Look, I don't know. I could really want to take your hand and just snap it off, but that's obviously nothing to do with it. But anyway, so I personally prefer the DualShock 4 over the DualShock 3. Obviously PS4's new controller, PS3's old controller, or current controller, let's just say. But yeah, you know, we've been spending the last just under a decade on this, and to realise that this is the next generation controller is amazing. Significantly bigger and better features. I'm actually in love with this controller, and I've only had it for about 5 or 6 days. So yeah, I would recommend, you know, if you've got a PS3, upgrade to the PS4. I would highly recommend it. You know, get a PS4 as soon as you can. And I will be doing a comparison of the PS4 to the Xbox One controller when I get an Xbox One. I probably won't get that to another year or so. It'll be something I want to get next year, but it's something that I'm not too fussed about. And another thing is probably the Xbox One with the Xbox 360 controller. Leave a like if you want me to do a PS3 versus Xbox 360 controller debate as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been Jamie from the Game Pillar. Stay tuned in for more live streams, more videos, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.